So, good morning, students. A very warm good morning to all of you. Yes, today we are here with the topic related to the mathematics, that is understanding elementary shapes 2D and 3D. Okay. Now, starting the chapter. The first topic is line segment. A line is drawn with arrow on both its ends because it can be extended in both direction endlessly. Okay, that you already know. What about the line? A line segment is the portion of a line that has two fixed end points in the following figure. L is the line and the portion between AB is a line segment. Okay, a line segment is named using capital letters. A line segment is the shortest distance between two ends. Two-dimensional figures are formed using line segments. Two line segments are congruent if they are having the same measurement. Many things we see around us are made up of points and lines, that you know already. Line is also made up of so many of points. The length of the line segment is generally measured using a standard unit of measurement like the meter. Meter is again subdivided into various other units, thus forming a part of metric measuring system. So students, are you understood what about the line segment? Line segment means here the 2 points which are ended, means it is not extended anymore. Then what about the units? In your previous classes, you have already learned about the metric system, which has 3 different basic units for measuring length and height, weights and volume and capacity. They are the meters, gram, liters respectively. However, we will look in details only about unit meter and its different units that are based on the decimal system. These are the ones used for measuring line segments. The most commonly used units of metric system are kilometer, meter, centimeter and millimeter. To measure the line segment, the most commonly used tool is a ruler. It is either 12 inches long or 6 inches long. Okay. Now, find the ruler in your geometry box. It is marked in centimeter or inches or both. So, students, if you are seeing the ruler, okay, so you can see in a ruler, on that side it is the mark up to 0 to 15, it is on the centimeter, and that side, yes, it is marking. Which marking it is? It is in inch. Okay, so this marking is of the inch and this is about 1 to 15 is in the centimeter. So comparing the length of line segment, look at the adjoining segment AB, CD and EF by observation. We can say that CD is shorter than AB, but we cannot say whether EF is shorter or longer than AB by just observing them. Yes, just observing, how can you say that which is the longer one, which is the shorter one? So this method cannot be applied always to compare the line segment. So means only by observation can you find out which one is the longer and which one is the shorter one? No. So it is just it is just for the something you will observe it. Okay. Now comparing by tracing. Suppose we have to compare the lengths of two line segments AB and CD, whose length cannot be compared by observation. Yes, it is cannot be compared by observation, which is the longer one, which is the shorter one. Let us see another method to compare the lengths. Take a tracing paper and make a replica on AB. Keep these trace sheet on CD and find out which one is the longest, but it is not easy way to compare as is the time consuming. Means what you have to do, you just have to keep a trace paper on the first line, just measure the 2 points and again this put in the second line and just see where the 2 points are matched, but it is actually time consuming. Okay. So compare two line segment with a divider. You know divider, yes, which are having the 2 points. The following steps will help you to compare two line segments divider using a divider. You see the first one. Draw two line segments AB and CD. Open the divider and place one end of the divider on A and other end on B. Without disturbing the distance between the two hands of the divider, place one end of the C and the other end on a D. If other end falls exactly on D, the two line segments are equal. If the second end falls short of D, CD is longer than AB, and if the second end extends beyond B, AB is longer than CD. So this is the measurement by divider. So you just have to put the divider on the first and then measure it, and same is put on the second one. If it is shorter, means it is if the distance is small, it is the shorter one. If distance is long, it is the longer one. Measuring line segment with ruler. It is the simple one that you already know how to measure it. Yes. Measuring line segment with a divider. Okay. Now another way of measuring a line segment is using a divider. You can find a divider in your geometry box. Step to follow the while measuring a line segment using a divider. Open the divider, place one end of the A on the other end of the B. Without disturbing this distance between the two ends, place the divider on the ruler in such a manner that one end falls on the 0 marks. Note the point on which the other end falls. If it shows 4.7 cm, then the length of the line segment AB you have drawn is 4.7 cm. Then different types of line segment. First is the parallel lines. You have already an idea about the parallel lines. Parallel lines always remain same distance between them. They can't be extended to any length on the other side, but they never meet even when they extend it. That you already know. The parallel lines are never meet at any cost. Then intersecting lines cross each other and meet at a point. Yes. Now in the figure you can see O is the point of intersection where the two lines are meet at the point O. Perpendicular lines meet at a point to form the right angle. Here UV is perpendicular on ST, or you can say SO is perpendicular on UV. So perpendicular bisector. Let AB be a line segment, make its midpoint as E. Let EF be a line perpendicular to AB through E. EF divides AB into two equal parts. EF is also perpendicular to AB, hence EF bisector and is also perpendicular to AB. So EF bisects AB and it's also perpendicular to AB. So we say EF is a perpendicular bisector of AB. Okay. Now you learn to construct it later. Just see the exercise 10.1. Using a divider, find which of the longer line segment AB or CD. You just have to put the divider and measure which one is the longer one, which one is the shorter one. Okay. Using divider and ruler, find the length of the following line segment. You just have to use the divider. You just put it here and just measure. Okay. And then measure on the scale. It is of the 2.3. Okay, so here you have to write 2.3. Then measure it. From 0 to it is 2.9. So again it is 2.9. This way you have to do the remaining one. Identify the parallel and intersecting lines. So which are the parallel lines? This is the parallel line. This is intersecting. This is intersecting. And this is the parallel. Okay. Check which of the following intersecting lines are perpendicular. Which are the perpendicular? Where the 90-degree angle is made. Here is not. Here yes, because here 90 degrees angle made. Here is also not. Yes, here and here. Here is not 90-degree angle make. Then if the line segment AB is perpendicular bisector to the line segment CD, then what is the length of the line segment AD and BD? AD and BD. Just see, if the if CD is the perpendicular bisector, it makes it into the equal parts. So these two parts are equal. If 6 is divided into the two equal parts, so it is equal to 3. Means it is the 3 and it is also the 3. Okay. Now see the next one, that is angles. You know angles are formed when two rays meet at a point. The two rays are called as the arms of the angle. They are already learned in the previous chapter. Different angles are formed by the rotation of ray. In fact, the hands of the clocks are excellent examples of different angles. They rotate all the time and show different angles. As they rotate, the inclination of the arms or the distance between the arms increases or decreases. This is called the measure of angle, and a tool called the protractor is used to measure the angles. Yes, this half circle is called as the protractor. Okay, now in this protractor, what is given is started from the 0, from one end it is completed at 180, and again from that side it is completed the 180. Okay, now it is measured in the degree. Okay, it's from 0 degree to 180 degree. Then measuring an angle using a protractor. How you are using the how you are measuring the angle by using the protractor? Just see, you just keep this point dot on the point, and where the line is extended from that side, you just have to count the number, you will get the angle. Okay, now types of angles. Acute angle. Acute angle means the angle whose measure is greater than 0 but less than 90. The angle which is less than 90 is acute angle. The angle which is having the 90 degree right angle, it is called the right angle. Obtuse angle, the angle whose measure is more than 90 but less than 180. So it is the obtuse angle. They have already learned about that angles. Straight angles, and angles whose measure is exactly 180 is called the straight angle. Means here as the angle is 180. Reflex angle, the angle whose measure is more than 180 but less than 360. Okay, it is the reflex angle. And what about the complete? Means if it completed the one, means it is for 360. Zero angle. Imagine two rays originating from the same point in the two different directions. They form an angle in between them. Let the angle generated be 10 degree. Now, if one ray tends to falls toward the other, the angle continues to decrease from 10 to 987 until on one ray falls right on top of the other. At this point, the angle between the two rays reduced to 0. Thus, the angle form is known as the zero angle. Okay. Now, depending on this angle, exercise is given. Okay, so in exercise 10.2, first question is, without measuring, find out what kind of angle each of the following is. Okay, now see the first one, it is more than 90, means you can say it is as obtuse angle. Then this one is less than 90, means you can say acute. This is the reflex, and here this is the right angle triangle. Okay, now measure each of the following angle using a protractor. So here you have to use the protractor. Just keep like that. Okay. Now here you can see it is the accurate 80. So it is 80 and name it as A, B or C. You can say anything. Okay. Now what about the B? Just keep it like that. Okay. It is the angle of 30, between 30 and 40. So it is 135. Name it as LMN. Okay, so you know how to use the protractor. In this we have to do the remaining the two one. Okay, now here up to the H1 you have to measure it and write the measurement, and then after draw angles for the following measurement and name the angles. Here you have to draw the angles. Okay, now see the first one, it is equal to 45. Okay, the third one first, 45 degree. Then first you have to draw the measurement, take the measurement of 5 centimeter. Okay, now here you have to make the 2 points. At one point you just have to put this protractor, match the line, and started counting from that side where the line is extended, that is 0, 10, 20, 30, 40, and here is the 45. Okay, now you just join this one. Now in this way you have to make the 45 degree. Okay, and name it as A, B and C here. Now see the B1, BB is occurring 35, then F 180, G90, 175. So see 175. You can draw 175. Yes. So draw the line of 5 centimeter. Minimum 5. It is not compulsory that you have to draw the line of 5 centimeter, but it is a minimum distance. You can draw the line of 6 or 7 centimeter also. Okay. Now see if you are put in this way. Okay. Now start it counting from the, yes, from that side. If you are putting, because where the line is extended, from that side you have to start. So it is the angle of how much? Yes, 175. It is not getting, so from that side you can measure it as 10 up to 90, 100, 140, 150, 160, 175. Okay, so here is the 170. Here is the 175. So here you have to join this. Okay. Now in this way you have to draw the 175 angles. Now students, you come to know how to draw the angles. Okay. Now see the fourth question. State whether the following statements are true or false. When two line segments do not intersect, they are always parallel. It is the false. They are not always parallel. Two intersecting lines meet only at a common point. Yes, they can meet only common point. So it is the true. The perpendicular distance remains the same between the two parallel lines. Yes, the perpendicular distance remains same between the two parallel lines. It is not true. Okay. Sorry, it is not false because it is true. Then perpendicular lines are parallel. Perpendicular lines are parallel. No, it is the false. Then the remaining one you have to do by your own. Okay students. Now see the next topic, that is polygons. A closed two-dimensional shape bounded by straight line is called a polygon. The word polygon comes from a Greek word meaning many angles. Polygons have the same number of sides as the number of angles contained in them, and their names are derived from this fact. Okay. Now there are two types of polygons. First is the regular polygon and the irregular polygon. What about the regular? It has all sides and all angles of equal measurement. Where the all sides and all angles of equal measurement, it is called as the regular polygon. And in an irregular polygon, it has at least one side having different size as compared to the others, and at least one angle unequal to the others. Means in these all the angles are not same, at least one angle is of the different type. Okay. Now the following table identifies some of the polygon. Number of side 3 means it is the triangle. 4 quadrilateral, 5 pentagon, 6 hexagon, 7 side means it is a heptagon, 8 side is the octagon, 9 side nonogram, and 10 side is having it is the decagon. Then see the exercise 10.3. Tick, write the regular polygon and cross irregular polygon. Okay. So which is the regular one? This is the regular. Yes, this is the regular, this is irregular, this is regular, this is irregular, that is again regular. Then triangle. The three-sided polygon is called a triangle, that you already know. The sum of the three angles of a triangle is always equal to 180. The triangles are classified both according to their sides and according to their angles. So according to their sides, the triangles are divided as equilateral triangle. In equilateral triangle, all the three sides are equal. In isosceles triangle, only two sides are equal. In scalar triangle, no one side is big, and all three sides are unequal, means no one is equal. All the three sides are unequal. Triangles are classified on the basis of their angles. Okay. Now on the basis of side, they are equilateral triangle, isosceles triangle, and scalene triangle. On the basis of side, and on the basis of angle, right angle triangle. One of its angle is a right angle triangle. Okay. Now what about the acute angle triangle? Means all the three sides are having the acute angle triangle, and obtuse angle triangle is one of its three sides is an obtuse angle. Okay. Now see on the basis of that exercise 10.4. The length of the sides of the triangle is given below. Classify them as scalene, equilateral, and isoscale. Okay. Now see 379 means all are different, means it is the scalene. Then 5 7 5 means two sides are same, it is isosceles. Then two sides are same means again is a isosceles. Three sides are different means it is a scalene. Two sides are same means again isosceles. So in this way you have to find out. Now see D1, it is the all the sides are same means it is the equilateral. Here 2 to 2 means all the sides are same, it is the again equilateral. In this way you have to find the remaining one. Okay, now classify the triangle based on the angles given. 40, 50, 90. So it is the acute because two angles are, sorry, it is the right angle because one is 90 and again both are the, yes, both are acute. 60, 60, 60 means all, yes, all the 60s means it is the acute angle. 45, 45, 90 means again it is a right angle triangle. Then yes, 30, 60, 90 means it is again the 30, 60, 90. It is the right. Then 20, 70, 90 is again the 20, 70 and 90. So you have to do by your own. Yes. Now see the next one. Identify the type of triangle from the following figure. It is the right angle triangle because it is having the 90 degree. Then here see you can, it is a all sides are same is it is a 60. It is the acute and it is the, again all the sides are 60. It is again the acute one. Okay. Now quadrilaters. A four-sided plane shape is called a quadrilateral. There are many types of quadrilaterals with different properties. Let us look. Parallelogram. A parallelogram is a quadrilateral with two pairs of opposite sides being parallel and equal, and also the opposite angles of parallelograms are equal. Means here this angle and this angle, this angle and this angles are equal. Rectangle. A rectangle is a parallelogram with every angle equal to 90. In the rectangle, all the angles are of 90 and opposite sides are equal. Then square. You know in the square, all the angles are of 90 degree and all the sides are same. What about the rhombus? Rhombus is a parallelogram with all the sides being equal. Here is the all the sides are equal, but the opposite angles of a rhombus are equal and none of its angle is equal to 90. Means no angle is 90, but opposite angles are equal. Trapezium. A trapezium is a quadrilateral with just one pair of parallel line. Here you can see this line is parallel to this line. A trapezium with equal non-parallel sides is called the isosceles trapezium. Okay. Now here you can see it is isosceles trapezium because this line is parallel to this line. Okay. And with equal non-parallel sides. Here are the no side is the parallel. Okay. Now therefore it is called as the isosceles trapezium. Then a kite is a quadrilateral with two pairs of equal adjacent sides. Here you can say these two upper sides are equal and these two lower sides are equal in the kite. Now more polygons, that is pentagon. A five-sided polygon is called the pentagon. Okay, it is the regular one and it is the irregular one because you can see here angles are different. Regular pentagon has all the five sides of equal length, but an irregular pentagon at least one side unequal to the other. You can see here all the five sides are equal, but here four sides are equal and the two sides are unequal. Hexagon. A six-sided polygon is called the hexagon. Here you can see all the six sides are having the same length, and here you can see it is also the hexagon, but here is the difference is there. Okay. Heptagon. A seven-sided polygon is called a heptagon. Here you can see all the sides are equal length because it is a regular, and it is in the, you can see here it is also the heptagon, but with the irregular because all the sides are not equal. Octagon, all the eight sides are equal, and here you can see it is irregular because here are the angles are different. Sorry, sides are different. Then see 10.5. Identify the figure given below and state its properties. Okay. Now see this one. You can see opposite sides are equal and angles are 90 meter. It is the rectangular. Then Identify the following figure and state its property. What is it? It is the square. What is the property of square? It is all sides are equal. Then all angles are 90 degree. Okay. Now identify the figure below. It is the rectangular. It is the 1, 2, 3, 4, but it is the, yes, what you can say, trapezium. Then this is the kite. Okay. Now this is the rhombus. Square, and this is the, again, yes, this is the rectangle. Okay. What makes a square a special kind of quadrilateral? What makes a square a special kind of quadrilateral? Because this is the only quadrilateral in which all the sides are same and all the angles are having the 90 degree. That's why it is a special. What are the similarities and difference between a square and a rhombus? What about the square? All the sides are equal. In the rhombus, all the sides are equal. But in the square, all the angles are of 90 degree. But in the rhombus, opposite angles are equal. Okay. So this is the similarities and this is the difference between the rhombus and square. Okay. Now the next one is identification of 3D shapes. Students, it is the very easy chapter. You know very well about the quadrilaterals, triangles. You already learned about that. Okay. Now, identification of 3D shapes. The three-dimensional shape equivalent to a polygon is called the polyhedron. It is a solid whose surface consists of polygons. Cube, cuboid, prism are the examples of polyhedron. Okay. Now see, there are few definitions associated with these solid shapes. The faces. The face is the surface of the solid which is enclosed by edge. Then edge is a straight line where the two faces meet. Where is the edge? Where the two faces meet. And vertex is a point where three or more edges meet. And vertex, what is here? 2 or 3 lines are meet. Then what about the cube? A cube is the most common polyhedron. Its surface consists of 6 squares. Yes, already you know. If you want to see, just see the ice cube. Okay. All its faces are equal in size. A dice is an example of a cube. Okay. Dice, or you can say a ice cube also an example of a cube where all the 6 sides are there and all the sides are equal. Cuboid. A polyhedron whose surface consists of 6 rectangular is called a cuboid for a rectangular block. Okay. Now see, in the cuboid, length, breadth and height is given and 3 are the different one. It has 6 faces, 12 edges and 8 vertices. A brick is an example of cuboid. You can say a brick or you know the shoes box. Yes, it is also the example of cuboid. Now what about the prism? A prism is a polyhedron whose top and bottom faces are identical polygons, okay, with their corresponding sides parallel. The other faces are usually rectangles or parallelogram. The prism has a uniform cross section and is usually named after the shape of the cross-sectional area. Now see the next one, triangular prism. So what is the triangular prism? A triangular prism has 2 equal triangular base and 3 faces that are parallelogram. This is the triangular prism where the 2 equal triangular bases and 3 faces. Okay. Now what about the cylinder? A cylinder is a prism with 2 equal and circular bases that are parallel. It has the 3 faces. A soft drink can is an example of cylinder. Yes, students, you have very well known about the can. Soft drink can, yes, it is the example of cylinder. Sphere. A sphere is a 3-dimensional shape having all its points at the same distance from its center. Half of the sphere is called the hemisphere. A ball can be a solid sphere. It is not hollow from the inside. Yes, you know the ball. Yes, it is the solid sphere. Pyramid. A 3-dimensional shape with a polygon shape base and a triangular faces meeting at one vertex is called a pyramid. A pyramid is named after the shape of the polygon forming its base. Triangular pyramid, square base pyramid and hexagon base pyramid are the examples of pyramid. A cone is also a pyramid. Just see about the cone. A cone is a pyramid having a circular base and single vertex. Now see the cone here. Circular base is there and at the top vertex is there. Triangular pyramid. A triangular pyramid has a triangular base and 3 triangular faces meeting at one vertex. Square pyramid. A square base pyramid has a square as the base and 4 triangular faces meeting at the one vertex. Okay, students, so you go through it, you will understood very well. Okay, now see the exercise 10.6. How many edges, faces and vertices do the following shapes have? What about the cube? How many edges are there? 12. And what is about the vertices? 8. And what about the faces are 6. Cylinder is having the edges 12. What about the vertices? 8 and faces 6. Then cone is having the edges 2 and vertices no, and then faces is equal to 3. Okay, now you know what about that. You have to do by your own. Okay, students. So the end with the exercise 10.6, we have finished our lesson, that is lesson number 10, the understand elementary shapes 2D and 3D. So I hope all the topics in the lesson number this you will understood very well. Okay, so go through the lesson. Okay, now we are meeting in the next class. Thank you so much students for attending the class.